Well, hello, hi. It is me, it is I, Smultan Didi, your Khadi Dizia, very internet and Astrach. I am back. Hello, yella. We're doing this for a second time. I don't know what happened to I'm telling you, if it does it again, I'm not doing this. That means this. You guys aren't supposed to hear my thoughts on this. What's been on my mind? I'm sorry I've been away for a week. I also get like iffy when my favorites don't post. Um, as regularly as I would like them to. But the week got away from me, as these things often do with me. And I'm back. I'm back today. Okay. Let's get into it. What do I want to talk about? What I've seen training. Okay. I've seen this thing on TikTok where people are like, you can move back in with your parents at the expense of your mental health. And baby, you guys know I'm a stay-at-home child, so I am like uniquely positioned, like uniquely qualified to speak on this. I joke about it, haha, stay-at-home child, and then we all like, you have a little cackle, and then we go about our business, but it sucks here. It sucks. I mean, let's face it. A lot of us aren't moving back in with our parents because we're having such a good time in the world, and it's just so good in the world that we just have to go home now. We must, it's enough with the fun, A lot of us have had like a beatdown from the world, right? We've been fucked, like royally fucked by the world, and we must now go home, lick our wounds, and have mom and dad just put a bandage over everything, And it's a difficult thing to talk about because you don't want to seem ungrateful, only because you know that others don't have that home to go home to go back to. Some people have houses that they grew up in, but it's never felt safe, so they can't go. Some people simply don't have room to go back home once you're out, make something of yourself. I come from what I would consider to be an average family, somewhat in my social circle. That's what I see a lot. Let me not say average, but around me, that's what I see, right? So our homes aren't particularly big or anything, but there's always room for you to come back and try to figure things out at home. And you want to be grateful for that because you know that's not everybody's story. But it doesn't take away from the mental strain, because it's embarrassing even. I was told to come home. My parents are just like, no, this is not working. Whatever you're doing out there, it's not working. It's not a thing. We need you to go this direction, and we need you to do that from here. So you need to come home so we can regroup and do a whole new thing with you and try to figure things out. And I've been here ever since. I've been here trying to regroup, and like it stunts your growth in a way. And I think the embarrassing element of it for me is looking at like my friends, not necessarily my peers in a broader sense, but literally my actual mates, right? We're about the same age, a lot of them, seeing them like adulting, like full on doing adult shit, and you're just me. I'm just here, my parents' kid, and you feel like you're missing out on an experience, and it fucks with your head and your ego. It fucks with your placement in the world. You can't place yourself, right? You aren't doing what you are said to supposed to be doing. And I keep having like iterations, if you would like, of this same chat where I'm trying to move away from this very rigid way of thinking and doing things, like the timeline thing. You guys have heard me talk about this, where I'm trying to shed and mourn things that were supposed to be, and so that I can chart a new way, or at least be present in the now. And it's a difficult thing to do. I literally don't feel my age, to a point where I'm sure some of you have picked up on it. I never really say how old I am. It's not a secret per se, but I'm embarrassed about it because my life doesn't match it. My brain hasn't caught up to it. And I wonder if that has to do with me living with my parents, with being home for as long as I have, and not having some of the responsibilities, sort of the things that mark that you are now a grown up and you're adulting and you're doing this thing. I don't have those things. I don't have a home. I don't have like a car payment that I'm making. I don't even have rent that I need to pay. I get fed regardless of whether or not I buy the food. Like, it's all just happening, and it's like I'm sleeping in my childhood bedroom. It fucks with you. Like, it really, you're already coming back into that situation because the world has fucked with you. You've not made a success of being out in the world. And it's not to say you're going to be home stuck and you're never going to figure out a way to get out and go, join the others if you would like. But for most of us, there's a little curse to it. Like, once you move back in, often you don't move out. You're now that aunt. Your young aunt who's at home and she's the one at the holidays. She's making sure all the kids are fed. She knows where everything is. She takes care of the grandparents, and that by default, you see how that person's life happened. It's not nice. It's not nice at all. Yeah. And then the other thing with me is that when I first moved back, I explained to you guys in the video about not wanting to get married, that I fell in love when I was 19, and that breakup was especially hard for me because I was moving back home. So it wasn't just like I'm breaking up with this person, whatever. I think they have a good life now or something. Actually, they didn't even fucking do anything to me. I really do hope you have a good life, dude. You know that. But I was breaking up with a lot of stuff, right? The aspirations, the dreams, the city, the plans I was starting to have for my life in that city, the career I thought I was going to have. And it's like I had to go back and start over and try to reimagine. And these things didn't feel attainable from home, right? Because I live in a considered a rural province, right? And in a township in the province. It's like, oh my God. Yo, guys, it was difficult, eh? My friends tell me all the time to this day that I was like really inconsolable. And at the time, you don't have the words, right? You think it's a slump, like you're in a bit of a funk. There's no real assistance, like medical assistance, to really explain why you can't get out of bed, which is what was happening with me. Like, I really could not, embarrassment would pull me out of bed. Like, oh my God, it's like gonna be late afternoon soon. People are gonna come back from work and realize that I haven't left my bedroom. Let me get up and look busy. Like, really, let me get up and look alive, because it's creating all of this tension, which is now also fucking with my mental even more, because I'm at loggerheads with my mom constantly about, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And it's like, girl, I'm not the maid. I've actually, like, nothing wrong with being the helper, but don't make like it's my fucking job, and if it's not done, like, everything is gonna stop. Like, that was our thing, right? And my mom and I would go at it. I was so angry about the life that I don't have, and she just didn't understand. And she wasn't even mad at me, like mad at me being an underachiever. She was just like not understanding why I was in bed. Like, just like, I go to work and I'm tired at work, and then I come back home and you haven't done this and you haven't done that. And in my mind, I was just like, girl, I was just trying to stay alive. Like, I was really trying to, and I'd be up, sometimes I like, by midday, my eyes are like starting to, and I'm like, okay, it's midday. Then the negotiation with self starts, because you're embarrassed now that you've slept in so long. Because you also sleep so late. You sleep in the AMs and you get up at odd hours. And the reason I would do that, when I had to look back at it, is that those are the hours where people are doing life. So if I'm awake, if I was to force myself to wake up during those hours and try, what life was I going to do? Because my life was on hold for intents and purposes. Like, it was on pause. So I would be getting up early to do what exactly? Like, be aware that people are living life right now. Bitch, no. I'm staying asleep. I'm staying the fuck asleep so I don't have to deal with that reality. And it was creating a lot of tension, because at the time we didn't have a helper either. So I'd get up like close to when people are about to come home, make sure the house is clean. Sometimes I'd make sure the house is clean in the AM so that I don't have to wake up super early to make it clean. And then make sure there's food. Luckily, we've always like batch cooked here at home, so that there's always food in the fridge for somebody to heat up. We never just cook for the day and be done with it. We'll always make like a stew of sorts. My ex would always say I like to mix everything together because I'll do like a all-in-one kind of pot kind of thing. And I'm just like, just fucking say you didn't eat veggies at your house. That's why I should have known then. I went off. But my mom and I would get into it and it would fuck with me a lot more. And I'm still a stay-at-home child. I was trying to explain to my mom why I'm not okay the other day. She was so lost. She was so confused. She's like, already because I'm not laughing. She's like, what? I'm like, Mom, I don't have things. Like, I don't have the things that like the people my age have. And it makes me sad, and it feels so far out of reach. Like it feels like there's no world. I can't and I've got a good imagination, but I can't even imagine like a future where that exists for me because it's so far. Like it feels not in the cards for me, and you don't grow up with that. It's something you realize along the way, and it fucking hurts. It hurts. I want my own little cottage that I can decorate the way I want, and it shows up in my workspace because I have a workspace here at home. This is my workspace. I think you guys have figured that out. One of these days we'll do a get to know me. You can ask me your questions about your khadi on the internet. But it shows up in this little space that I get to call my own here at home. How I like the little deep, like how much joy I take in trying to put it together and make it pretty and make it mine. But you know, I have a hard time celebrating that because it's not mine. It's like here, it's like so much. I'm trying to inject some lightness into this, and I can tell it's like going down bad. But for the most part, when you move back home, it's because your mental has had enough. 3 of you, don't fucking leave a comment here, by the way. 3 of you may move back because you need to save on money to help you like have a healthy deposit for your house or whatever. But it's more a financial move to position yourself a lot. But like that's just not the case for most of us. The young people are learning. I'm seeing on TikTok, it's now dawned on them that, you know, meritocracy is a fucking scam. The kids have their degrees in hand and they can't get a job. You've just graduated. There's something lately about grad season. I've realized that it looks like we're haters, but we almost just, I think we tried to be the people nobody was for us because we were possibly one of the first groups to realize that, oh, it doesn't go like that. You don't do everything exactly so to get this exact result as a guarantee. And so when we see the young people throw their grad caps and sit up and get excited and think they're gonna have these amazing careers, it's like you hold. You cross your fingers. You actually hope it's gonna pan out that way for them because it didn't for you and it sucked and it's still not panning out, but you know the chances that it's going to go that way for them very low. A lot of graduates are sitting at home, and that's where I find the mental health struggles start because you did everything right, or sometimes you didn't have the opportunities to do everything right, but you're willing in terms of like going to like varsity and stuff, but you're not a bum. You're willing to try to make something of yourself, but the forces just aren't colluding to make it such that you can give yourself some purpose and function. And that eats it. It eats at the human spirit. It does. It really, really does. I feel like a child. Like I will never not feel like my parents' kid in a way that I can't, not even their adult kid, but like their baby. Like they worry about me to that degree. Like I would be back in the house and I would hear them because I wouldn't have been out of my room the whole day. And they'd be asking each other where I am. And the words are "Mwana ugai." Like literally, that's how they would like. Yo guys, we try to redefine things, you know? You try to get a new meaning for success for yourself. You try to do the rewiring so that but like norms are that for a reason. And when you see other people manage to get those things, you can't help but feel like something is wrong with you. You can have all the language, which I do, right? All the understanding of like capitalism and like the fact that this is just the system functions like this and it's collapsing on itself because it's fucking designed to do that. And all of, you can know all of those things, right? But if you look to like your side and you look everywhere, and at least two people are still managing against all odds in this situation to come out right, or what looks like is right, it will fuck with you, right? And it's all just pivot. I understand the intention behind that conversation. I get it. I'm actually a dropout. I don't think you guys know this about me. Like what was supposed to be my pivot was just eating at my spirit in a way that, again, it's a difficult thing to explain to people who aren't wired the same. Because I was about to say things that are just mean. People who, and I understand that sometimes people are creatives, but they opt for the safe route. But even the safe route is no longer safe. I don't know if you guys have picked up on that. And they opt for that, and it works out for them, and they're okay doing their passion thing as a side project, something they do after work that brings them joy. Then there's those of us where that thing is all consuming. Like we actually don't exist in a reality where it can be the thing I do on the side. Like that would kill me. The same, like it's like I don't win. It's an actual thing. I know it's hard. Everybody's like, oh, just get like a stable little thing. People thought I could be a fucking teacher. Have you heard how I speak? I'm fired. In this first week, I'm fired. Like, babe. And it's always gonna go like that because and like, oh, bundle bora yo. And also, like, have we realized that kids just smell? Like, when you get older, you actually realize that teachers were going through a lot just from the smells in the classroom. Just the smell. Like, whoa, hey. Like, little people run around, they sweat. I suppose it's a natural, like, human thing. It's like a thing. But how is ma'am not throwing up? Like, oh, and then you'd go to man's desk and be like, I didn't understand this. And you've just been to break and you smell of like Foxy Necks and, oh. Oof. I need to spend more fun time because this wasn't even about that. But like, that was my point there. My point is, moving back home works if like, there's a lot of assistance at home. My mom and I eventually got to a point where my hustle, I could contribute to a fraction of paying a person to do the domestic chores that her and I were fighting over. And now we don't fight. Now we're bosses together. She still doesn't understand why I'm sad half the time. She's like, no, my in the accounts like shit that don't matter. Proper accounts shit. We got a balance, and now we're bossed up together and we're besties, and she gets me a lot better. a lot better, not completely. Like some of the things that worry her, I'm just like, girl, why? Like, why you press that I don't have a kid? I don't got shit to give the baby. Like, that's another video. I actually want to talk about in one video whether or not poor people should have children and why I just don't see it for me. Like, that was supposed to be this video, actually. I'll talk about that in the next one. Bye, Yella.